So, can a suitor for Saab be found to keep the Swedish car on the road? Well, the latest reports suggest that GM could be lining up a swoop by Beijing Automotive industry for some of Saab's assets. So, to discuss Saab's scramble for survival, I'm joined by John Wolkonowicz, a senior auto analyst with IHS Global Insight. John, thank you so much for joining me today. Now, in terms of what we know so far, Beijing Automotive says they want to move fast. How committed are they to Saab?
I think that Saab is likely to be an important part of their strategy moving forward. Many Chinese companies want to become global auto manufacturers over the next 10 years, and the way to jumpstart that process is to buy an existing company.
John, we saw a similar incident when a company from the Far East, this was Tata of India, actually bought some assets here in the UK. Does the model work? I mean, exactly what is Beijing looking at in Saab?
I think Beijing is looking for processes. They need to learn how to make vehicles that will be successful in Europe and in North America. And this is something that would take a long learning process if they chose to go it alone. By buying a company like Saab, or in the case of Tata, by buying Jaguar Land Rover, they're able to speed up that learning process.
Jaguar Land Rover, John, are two names that are, of course, iconic, known the world over. Does Saab have that kind of potential for Beijing to want it?
No, it's not as strong a brand as Jaguar Land Rover. You know, for an established auto company to pick up Saab, that doesn't make sense because it has been a loss maker for General Motors for such a long time. But really, I think here, Beijing Automotive is looking at understanding how to compete in Western markets much more than they are in the Saab brand itself.
John, run me through exactly what you think is going to happen. I mean, what options does GM have today? Can sell off Saab to Beijing. It also has some interest from financial firms, or it can just close down the plant.
I think a lot of what GM does is going to depend on how intellectual property rights are defined with these various suitors. You know, that was one of the issues as they were thinking about selling Opel a few months back. And it's also become an issue with Ford and Volvo. It's very important from GM's perspective not to lose intellectual property in an attempt to get a few dollars for Saab. Under some scenarios for General Motors, it may simply be better to just close the brand down.
John, we only have 15 seconds left. Why is Fiat not interested in Saab?
Mr. Marchione says that his plate is full. He's got all he can handle, and I think that's probably true.
All right, John, thank you so much for that. John Wolkonowicz, they're speaking about Saab and, of course, potential takeover of that car company.